Good morning, teacher.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Fine.
Fine, teacher. Thank you.
Okay. Let me see. I'm not meeting people here. Okay. We have like 20 students, right?
22, profe.
Okay.
Hola, baby. Buenos días, ¿cómo estás? Bien, dame un segundito, déjame conectar mis audífonos. Espérame.
Teacher,
Yeah.
se nota que le gusta pasar tiempo con nosotros.
Yes. Okay.
Tenemos 5 horas en toda la semana.
Oh, I love you guys.
5 horas.
Yes, I love you. Okay. Listen, today we're going to work in simple present, but we are going to work with the frequency adverbs. Okay? Let me show you how we're going to work.
Profe,
Yeah.
science.
Teacher, it's science.
It's science.
It is science.
Yes, grammar is
I thought that was grammar. Wait a minute. Okay. No, because some classes, I'm recording some classes with you guys. So they give me a schedule. Okay. Anyway, we are going to work over here in the person realize. We go back. Then, okay, no problem. So we are going to talk about today. Today is going to talk about, we're going to talk about viruses, remember? No, I have to work with this one. Okay, ready. So we finished with the evolution and classification of living things, right? So now the first that we're going to study is viruses, okay? Viruses are like the virus that we have right now, that we have a pandemic over here. It is a virus, basically. COVID-19 is a virus that is it destroys your systems, your cells. Okay, we're going to study how they work. What are the characteristics of viruses? Okay, first, a virus is not a living thing, right? Have a protein coat that protects an inner core and genetic material. It cannot reproduce their own, so they need a host. Yes? Okay, Ibrahim, tell me 2 characteristics of viruses. If you go to page 40, you can find them, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Let me read.
I just told you. Page 40, Ibrahim.
I'm there.
Okay.
The characteristics are an inner core of genetic material and cannot reproduce on their own. Maybe there.
Okay. No, the characteristics are, first one, they are not living things. Second, they don't have nucleus. They have a protein coat that protects an inner core of genetic material, and they can reproduce by themselves. Okay? So there are the characteristics of them. Okay, so let's continue. So how do viruses work? What are their needs?
Virus needs. Why are viruses considered non-living? They lack most of the characteristics of living things. Viruses are not cells and do not use their own energy to grow or to respond to their surroundings. Viruses also cannot make food, take in food, or produce wastes. Although viruses can multiply like organisms, they can only do so when they are inside a living cell. The organism that a virus enters and multiplies inside of is called a host. A host is an organism that provides a source of energy for a virus or another organism. A virus acts like a parasite, an organism that lives on or in a host and causes it harm. Almost all viruses destroy the cells in which they multiply. Virus shapes. As you can see in Figure 2, viruses vary widely in shape. Some viruses are round, and some are rod-shaped. Other viruses are shaped like bricks, threads, or bullets. There are even viruses that have complex robot-like shapes, such as the bacteriophage. A bacteriophage is a virus that infects bacteria. In fact, its name means bacteria eater.
Okay, listen. Okay, first, they are not considered non-living things. Why? Why they are considered non-living things? First, because they don't use their own food to grow and respond to surroundings. Second,
They don't have food to produce.
they cannot make food. And they can or produce wastes. Also, viruses can multiply like organisms, but they can only do so when you are inside other living cells. Okay, organisms that virus enters and multiplies inside of is called the host. They need a host. Okay? A virus acts like a parasite. Yes, an organism that lives on or in a host and causes its harm. That's why the viruses, like influenza, look at the influenza, it's similar to do you see the coronavirus picture? It's like this.
Coronavirus.
Yes.
Yes, it's like this because it comes from influenza, right? It's like a flu. What happens? When this virus enters to your cells, it then begins to destroy it because it's a parasite. Don't scratch my screen. I give you one to everybody. I don't care. Okay. You are not kids. Oh, how many times I have talked about this? Okay. Viruses are in different shapes. Listen, look at this one. Okay, this one is like a rod. It could be like a tobacco. Yes, and they put the name of this one. It is like a robot. That is the bacteriophage. Look at this one. The leg-like structures on the bottom in T4 bacteriophage keep the virus ferment in the place of infect a cell. So it is really dangerous, right? It's a bacteria eater. But okay, it's so dangerous that it eats a bacteria. Okay?
But why it has the form of a robot?
Yes, it's like a robot. Okay.
Why?
Because it's that's the shape. Okay. Let's continue over here. Okay, listen. Virus size. So most of the viruses, okay, are smaller cells that can be microscope. So the units that they are measured are nanometers. 1 nanometer is 1 billionth of a meter. So the smallest viruses are 20 nanometers in a diameter, while the largest is 200 nanometers in a diameter. So the average virus is quite small, even compared with the smallest cells, those of a bacteria. So they are smallest than a cell, right? They are smaller than a cell, so that's why it enters into the cell and destroy it. Okay, naming viruses. So there are different kinds of names for viruses, right? Or different types of naming. Some of them are because of the shape. Others because of the disease that they caused. Others the place. For example, some viruses such as polyvirus are named after the disease that they caused. Other viruses are named for the area where they were discovered. For example, the West Nile virus, yes? And others by the shape. How they multiply? When they enter to the other cell, so it means the host, yes? They began to multiply. They divided and multiplied, yes? And it causes a big trouble.
Teacher, one question.
Yeah.
Can we read so it's more like not fun?
This is smaller than a cell.
No.
Why? Explain me again.
I said if we can read.
You can read virus sizes. Okay. Read it.
We are in how viruses multiply.
Okay, yes, we are this. How they multiply?
After a virus attached to a host cell, it enters the cell. Inside a cell, the virus genetic material.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Once inside a cell. Continue.
Once inside a cell, the virus genetic material takes over many of the cell's functions. It instructs the cell to produce the virus proteins and genetic material. These proteins and genetic material then assemble into the new viruses. Some viruses take over cell functions immediately. Other viruses wait for a while.
Okay, listen what happens. I don't know. Here is not the picture. Okay, if you see the influenza virus, they have proteins, right? The proteins are outside. It's a proteins coat. They connect to the cells, proteins coat, and they multiply. They say these proteins and genetic material that are assembled in the new viruses, some viruses take over cell functions immediately. So they multiply, how do you say this one? They emulate, basically. All viruses wait for a while and then they reproduce more. They don't reproduce, they multiply, basically, but they have to be into a cell. Okay, it is what I say. Look at the proteins. Okay, listen, this is the whole cells. So if you see in the cell membrane, you are going to find proteins. These that are round, yes, are the cell surface proteins, right? What happens? The proteins attach to the proteins coat that the virus have. Okay? Do you understand what I mean? So the virus is surface proteins, and the cell, okay, the whole cells has also a surface proteins. So these proteins from the virus attached to the proteins of the cells, okay? In that way, they can enter, okay? Do you see them?
The structure of viruses. Although viruses have many different shapes and sizes, they all have a similar structure. All viruses have two basic parts, an inner core containing genetic material and a protein coat that protects the virus. A virus's genetic material contains the instructions for making new viruses. Each virus contains unique surface proteins. These surface proteins play an important role during the invasion of a host cell. The shape of the surface proteins allows a virus to attach only to certain cells in the host. Like keys, a virus's proteins fit only into specific locks or proteins on the surface of a host's cells. So a particular virus can attach only to one or a few types of host cells. For example, most cold viruses infect cells only in the nose and throat of humans. Those cells have proteins on their surfaces that complement or fit the proteins on cold viruses.
Okay, is what I told you.
Your shows how the lock and key system works.
Okay, do you see is what I told you, right? Okay. They work in that way. Continue. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
No,
No, teacher, thank you.
Wish? Okay, Ana Sofia, do you want to read? Ana Sofia. How do viruses interact with the living world? Ana Sofia, where are you? Ana
You may
Sofia.
have
She dropped out. Where are you? Ana.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay, Ana Sofia, begin. How do viruses interact with the living world?
You may have only heard of viruses causing colds and diseases, but sometimes viruses help rather than harm. So viruses can cause
No, tough viruses can.
tough viruses can cause disease. They can also be used to treat and prevent illnesses.
Viruses and disease.
Viruses and disease. Some viral diseases, such as colds, are mild and pass through the body quickly. Other viral diseases, such as human
immunodeficiency virus,
deficiency virus, or HIV, have much more serious and lasting effects on the body.
effect
Viruses
on the body.
effects on the body. Viruses also cause disease in organisms other than humans. For example, apple trees infected by the apple mosaic virus may produce less fruit. Dogs and cats can get deadly viral disease such as rabies and distemper.
Okay. Usefulness of viruses. Okay, you can use the virus to produce medicine. In a technique called gene therapy, scientists take advantage of virus' ability to enter a whole cells. So they use the virus as a messenger service to deliver genetic material to cells that they needed. Studies are being done that use gene therapy to treat disorders and diseases such as hemophilia, hereditary blindness, and immune deficiencies. If you never got the chickenpox virus as a child, you may have a vaccine to thank. A vaccine is a substance introduced in the body to help to help produce chemicals to destroy specific viruses. A vaccine may be made from weakened or dead viruses. So they use the viruses to create vaccines, right? Protections. Why? When they shot you, right, with the vaccine, yes, the cells in the immunological system enter and attack them. In that way, they record the disease, and when other viruses is going to enter, or the same virus is going to enter to your body, they are going to defend you, okay? Because they are weak or dead, the viruses do not cause disease. So instead, they activate the body's natural defenses. If that virus ever invades your body, it is destroyed before it can make you sick, because they remember with the vaccine. Okay? How it happens? Pay attention. The virus that causes a disease is isolated. The virus is then whipped or killed by heat, and the vaccine is prepared from it. 2, during the vaccination, the weakened virus is in fact injected into your body, so you receive a shot. The body prepares defenses against the virus. 4, the body can now resist infection by the disease-causing virus, right? Okay, questions? Do you have any questions?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, good. Okay, the next one is bacteria, but we are going to start it next week. So we are going to make a little review. Ana Cecilia, 3 characteristics of viruses. Ana. Ceci. Cecilia. Hey, you disappear again? No, she enters. Internet is broken in the city. It's not working well. Okay. Cecilia. Okay, Gabriela. Give me 3 characteristics of viruses.
There are no living things, and they don't have a nucleus. And this, como que...
In English. They don't reproduce Okay. They don't make food by their own. They don't produce waste. Okay, very good. Okay, Rehan. Virus needs.
Virus needs.
Give me 2 needs that they need. What do they need to reproduce? To multiply?
A host. They need a host.
They need a host, basically. Yes, they act like a parasite. Yes, and they multiply. Okay, give me 3 examples of viruses. Gabriel Natera. 3 examples of viruses. Mr. Natera. Hey. 3 examples of viruses. Why are you watching? 3 examples of viruses. Page 41.
Influenza virus
What?
is the 3 virus in here.
Where? In the previous, back. Which one? Where? In the next page. Okay, give me 3 examples. Influenza virus. Oh. Okay, next.
¿Cómo se dice, teacher?
Tobacco, right? Tobacco mosaic.
Tobacco virus.
Mosaic.
Mosaic virus.
Virus. Okay,
Virus.
and what is the last one?
T4 bacterial.
Bacteriophage. Bacteriophage. Okay? Okay. Fulvio. No, Alexander. What is the measure for how do they measure, how does scientists measure the virus? What are the measures? Meters, centimeters, kilometers.
And nanometers.
Nanometers, yes, nanometers. Okay. Antonio, how they name viruses? How? 3 examples. How they name viruses? Imani, do you know the answer? Cecilia, how they name viruses?
Some of them are named after the disease they cause, and other viruses are
very good.
for the area where they were discovered.
Yes, good one. Okay, excellent. Maria Fernanda. Okay, how viruses multiply?
After a virus attacks to a host cell, it enters the cell Once inside the cell, the virus genetic material takes over many of the cells.
Okay, pay attention. So the things are are like this. They multiply, they need a host. Yes, when they enter to the cells, yeah, they takes over many of the genetics functions. That's why the cells began to miswork and we have a problem. Okay, look at the next one. Here, tell me, okay, what is the structure of viruses? A structure of the viruses. Here, main structure of the viruses.
Many.
No, okay, Sofia, do you know? Sofia Perez.
All viruses have two basic parts, an inner core,
Two basic parts, okay. Continue.
an inner core containing genetic material and a protein coat that protects the virus.
A protein coat, okay? Very good, Sofia. Hey, Steve, you're not paying attention when I'm reading? What's going on? Are you playing video games? Pay attention. Maria Fernanda, I'm seeing you. You're laughing at the teacher. Okay. Continue. Okay, Antonio, tell me the steps how viruses can protect us.
The virus that
causes
that causes and disease
mm-hmm.
is
isolated. Isolated.
Okay.
Do you have the book there?
Yeah.
Okay. Page 44.
Okay.
Step 2.
During the give me a second, please.
Vaccination. During the vaccination.
The weekend virus is injected into the body.
Okay.
The body prepares defense against the virus.
Mm-hmm.
The body can now resist infection by the disease-causing virus.
Okay. Okay. So, do you understand? Questions? Do you have any question?
Nope.
Is there any question? Thank you.
Okay. So, do you like the class?
Yes, I like it, teacher.
Okay, good. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Suggestions? No suggestions? It's okay?
No, teacher. All is okay.
Okay. So everything is okay? Yes, good. Everybody understood?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
Good one. Okay. Tyr, pay more attention. Where's Tyr? Pay more attention when I'm reading. You have the book there. Okay. So guys, when we have the next class?
Grammar.
With me
11.
also? No, tomorrow.
11.
At 11. At 11. Okay.
Poniendo el escenario correcto lo estamos entendiendo. Son dos
Chao.
escenarios diferentes.
Chao.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, teacher.
Bye.